Hello, my friends. It is day 173, and we're reading Proverbs chapter 30 through Proverbs chapter 31. But before we get into our recap for today, I want to thank you for taking a moment to check out this video. Hopefully, you're finding the yearly Bible reading challenge to be incredibly helpful and a great joy for you as you continue your walk with Christ through His Word. If you have not yet accepted the invitation, I want to let you know it's not too late. You can join the yearly Bible reading community and group by just checking out the description box below. And there you'll find the link that will take you directly to our YouVersion Bible app, where you can join a number of people reading the Bible every single day, leaving feedback on things they're learning and discovering from God's Word. So we hope you will join us and be a part of this incredible community with us. Now, today we are studying the book of Proverbs, and we're completing another milestone. We're finishing the book of Proverbs. So this is the end of it, and it has been, I think, an incredible blessing to us. The fact that we've been able to spend such an amazing amount of time reading throughout the wisdom literature over the last really 2.5 weeks. So, kudos to you for completing it, praying that you got a lot out of it. Now, chapter 31 is one of the most popular Proverbs or chapters in the book of Proverbs, particularly from verse 10 down to verse 31, where it talks about what we call the Proverbs 31 woman. And it's interesting, and I think it's important to keep this in mind, that what we're reading about this, this woman, if you will, the character of this woman, it is Solomon's advice to his son. So it's not necessarily trying to tell a woman how she's supposed to or what she's supposed to be, as much as it is trying to tell his son what he should be looking for in a woman. It is a woman of character, and then it defines what these things are and what she does. And so we get that. It's very interesting. But there are two other things I want to pull out of today's reading. One is found in chapter 30, and the other is in chapter 31. It's this request that the writer makes in chapter 30, verse 7 through verse 9 that is interesting. The first thing that he asked to see the Lord do, or receive at least help before he dies, is to never tell a lie. And it's just so out there. Like, there's no context as to why he's asking the Lord to help him never tell a lie. But that's one of the things. And then the other, and this is Agur. In fact, these are the things of Agur. So it's not Solomon, but this is Agur. And but I think the thing that's interesting is that this collection of Proverbs, if we're taking it as an editorial collaboration, meaning Solomon is kind of leading the book, if you will, and then you would understand what value this would be to the sons of Solomon. I think that's important to note. But anyway, it says in verse 8, the second thing he asks is that God neither gives him poverty or riches. That is such a profound. When I read that, I was like, that's exactly the kind of balance you want to have. You don't want to be poor. You don't want to be rich either, because with both comes significant challenges. I think a lot of times we, as Christians, we think that it is easier to enter into heaven through poverty than it is through riches. But I would argue that both have its unique challenges. And this is what he's saying. He's saying, look, neither give me poverty nor riches. Give me just enough to satisfy my needs. For if I grow rich, I may deny you and say, who is the Lord? And if I am too poor, I may steal and thus insult God's holy name. So you see the value there of having neither, but rather having your needs met, being dependent on God and seeing him come through every time. That's the thing that I felt was very powerful, because it tells the story of both sides of the coin very well. And I think sometimes we don't get a chance to think through and process the way in which both sides can impact a believer. All right. Then in chapter 31, I really loved the emphasis on justice and defending those who are helpless. In chapter 31, you'll see that these are the sayings of Lemuel. And when we read through one of the things that he had to say, we see that he had a huge concern for keeping up with or taking care of the vulnerable, those who are not able to defend themselves, right? So let's look at this. Verse 8. This is what he says. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Ensure justice for those being crushed. Yes, speak up for the poor and helpless and see that they get justice. This is a king saying this. And you can understand why this would be important to include in the book that is supposed to serve as a book of wisdom to possible future kings. And what he's trying to get them to understand is the importance of building a kingdom around justice and righteousness, helping the poor, helping the defenseless, helping those who can't help themselves. As a king, you say to yourself, well, that's obviously a very moral thing to do, but it's a difference here. It's taking this concept and making it a part of the way you lead in government and as a leader of a nation. That this is golden. And so I felt these points are very powerful, specifically for the audience that it is intended to reach. And I think we need to note that point within the broader context of what the book of Proverbs is intended to be. So listen, great reading today. Got another milestone completed, another book of the Bible completed, and I want to congratulate you. Listen, I would love to hear what you're thinking, what your thoughts were about today's reading. Put them in the comment box below, and we'd love to have some sort of conversation around it. But listen, until next time, thank you for watching. Take care. God bless, and remember, live by the word.